all these doomsday economic projections. America's in an affordability crisis, We hear it over and over and over again. Well, riddle me this. How is it that spending shattered records over Thanksgiving, so-called Black Friday, and so-called Cyber Monday? Online purchases for Black Friday, $11.8 billion, a record. Spending on Thanksgiving, a record. Cyber Monday, $14 billion in online purchases, a record. How does this happen? Online spending increased by 5.3% on Thanksgiving and Black Friday compared to the same period last year when you know who was in office. How does this happen? This is CNN 91.
This morning, some states seeing gas prices below $3 for the first time in years. Let's get to CNN's Matt Egan for the good news on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to finally be here with some good news on the cost of living front. So for the first time in 4.5 years, gas prices are averaging $3 a gallon nationally, according to AAA, down by 7 cents in just the past week. Gas prices were low a year ago as well, but they're even cheaper now. This is encouraging to see because late last month there was a period where gas prices were actually higher this year than last year, but that has reversed again, and now we've just fractions of a penny away from breaking below $3 a gallon. Now, as you mentioned, we've got 20 states across the country where the average is actually less than $2.75 a gallon, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Colorado as well. Certainly nice to see this. Why is this happening? Well, it all comes down, of course, to oil prices, right? Oil prices are about $59 a barrel this morning. You look back in history, on December 1, 3 years ago, we're looking at $81 a barrel for oil, $67 even last year. So significantly cheaper, and that's because right now, supply of oil continues to outpace demand. It's U.S. supply. Production in the U.S. is at all-time highs. It's higher than last year, but only a little bit higher. OPEC is the big story, though, right? Saudi-led OPEC, they are ramping up production substantially this year. They've signaled that they plan to pause those output hikes next year. But for now, look, this is a good story when it comes to the affordability crisis. Gasoline, it's relatively cheap.
How about saying there has been a substantial change in the attitude about drilling under President Trump, speaking of whom he believes prices are going to fall even further, 105.
We're now at about $2.50 a gallon. We're going to be, I think, at $2 a gallon. We could even crack that at some point. I'd love to do it. And we could do it more easily if we weren't building up the strategic national reserves, which Biden emptied out before the election so that he could try and get elected. Meaning he started it, then he got thrown out of the race. Then she took over and she kept it going, and they emptied out these strategic national reserves, which are really meant for something else. They're not meant to keep people happy with their gasoline price. They're meant for war. They're meant for problems, big problems. He emptied it out, and then she continued it during the process of trying to get elected. Didn't work out too well for him. And they virtually brought it down to the lowest level, I believe, in history. And it didn't have much of an impact because the prices were very high. But our prices now for energy, but for gasoline, are really low. Electricity's coming down. And when that comes down, everything comes down.
But we have an affordability problem, right? This is Stephen Moore, who advised President Trump during his first term, number 100.
So, the first term of Trump, which you're looking at there on the chart, saw enormous gains in income, and especially look at that compared to what happened under Biden, the blue bars. So Trump families saw a big increase in their incomes under Trump. And by the way, that doesn't even include the value of their 401k plans that went up very considerably, both in Trump's first term and so far in his second term. So far in the first 10 months of this year, the median family income is up by about $1,200. That's after inflation, Lauren. So that means that their wages and salaries have gone up faster than inflation. So to some extent, this affordability crisis is a mythology. People can afford more. And incidentally, we know that, Lauren, because look at what's happening with the amount of money people are spending. Look what happened on Black Friday with the 10% hit. If people don't have the money, how can they go out and be spending this kind of money on Christmas presents? So I think to some extent, there's an exaggerated affordability crisis. Now,
that's because you, again, cut on the news. By that, I'm talking about ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC. It's doom and gloom because of Trump. That's why you find substantial differences between the way Republicans feel about the economy versus the way Democrats feel about the economy. They despise Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what this man does. Doesn't matter what this man says. They are going to interpret the news through the filter of their hatred of this president. I've never seen anything like it.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.